Always good YouTube. If you're new here, I'm Yando. I'm a competitive powerlifter and an online coach. And in today's video, I'm going to go over like a quick first comp guide. So if you've got a meet, you've like signed up for already and you want to know like how it's run and things to know and like things you should avoid, how to like go about it and how the day is run, then this video here will help you out. If you haven't like got a meet yet and you haven't got a clue how to like find one, I've got a video. I'll probably tag it below in the description or have it on screen in like a little link somewhere. But yeah, let's get straight into the main body of the video. The first thing is to ensure that you are a member of the federation you're competing in. So I compete under the GBPF, and you get like a little card in your email, has your name, like your number, and then like your division. So mine says GL, which stands for Greater London. So the first main thing is to make sure you have that card ready before you compete, because on the day it will get checked to make sure you are a member, and without that card or that number you can't compete under that federation. So at the venue you might get a few things checked quickly, like your name taken down and your number, just for safety and those sort of things. But the main thing you do first is your weigh-ins. So near the comp date you should have like a date you compete on and the time you weigh in. So it'd be like, Yando, you're weighing in at 8 AM and competing at 10 AM. Some federations you weigh in a day before, but once I compete in, you weigh in 2 hours before you compete. So yeah, weigh-ins, obviously you go in your boxes, step on the scale. If you're a girl, I don't know, panties and bras or whatever, go on the scale. Obviously you should be under your weight class. So if you compete under 93s, you should be between 83 and 93. I'm pretty sure if you're over the limit, then you get like, you can't compete in your weight class, but you can compete as a guest lifter. So your total would not count, but you can still compete. So if you want to do that, then you can do that, but your total wouldn't count towards anything. You'd just be doing it for your own like vibe and fun, which isn't too bad. But yeah, during that session, you'll have your kit checked a lot of times. They'll go through your kit and make sure it's all approved. Also your openers. A lot of guys don't know, you give in your openers before you lift. So you should know and have everything planned out before you even get to the comp room, because your openers are done before you even lift or anything. So have that all planned out. I'll get into picking your weights, like attempts, later on in the video. So yeah, as I mentioned, your kit has to be approved. For example, certain brands can't be used. You can't be using like AQF, Amazon knee sleeves and like belts and wrist wraps. You should know what brands are allowed for the federation. So on the website you should have like a nice document or PDF that shows you all the brands and like gear that is allowed for the federation. So make sure everything you're using on the day is all approved and allowed, because the worst thing you can do is go to the comp and realize you can't use certain things. Your t-shirts and socks don't matter, but like your singlet, your belt, wrist wraps, those things do matter. Footwear also doesn't matter too much, but yeah, those things do matter. There could be some like technical ones for shoes, but like most of the time you should be fine. Like casual flat sole shoes or like lifting shoes, you should be fine. I don't think anyone's coming in like high heeled shoes to lift off in, so you should be okay for that part. T-shirt, keep it simple. Don't come in any like crazy graphic t-shirts or anything, or like A7 bar grip t-shirts. Those aren't allowed. Keep it nice and simple. A plain back t-shirt or like a nice comp tee from SBD or A7 or anything. Keep it very simple. One thing a lot of guys do forget is the socks. You need to have knee-high socks. So make sure your socks are coming up to your knees. A lot of guys come and they haven't got the knee-high socks and they're like, oh no, you know what I mean? Football socks, anything. Make sure you have knee-high socks, because on deadlifts, they're a must. You can't compete with like short socks on deadlifts. And you also must wear some footwear. You can't compete in socks or like bare. So you've weighed in, kit has been checked, your membership card has been checked as well to make sure you're part of the federation. Then you'll do your rack heights. So you'll find your rack heights for your benching and your squatting after you do those things. It could be before or after, but yeah. So you go on a platform one by one and you go on the rack and they change it for you to find your rack, the right height for you. So don't worry, make sure you're wearing what you'll be using for the lift. So for squatting, if you wear heels when doing your rack heights. Don't like wear different shoes, because you aren't going to get an accurate rack height, right? So make sure your footwear is the same you're going to be using for when you're competing on the platform. So yeah, you've weighed in, rack height set, kit has been checked. The main thing is to eat up your food to make sure you're fueled for your attempts, because the day can get very long and you can get dehydrated. So make sure you've got a lot of water on you. Prioritize simple carbs, so like white rices and like pastas on white bread. I have like squares bars. They're good because they're low in fiber. That means it will digest faster, so the energy you're gonna be using will like come quicker. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, yeah, simple carbs are good. I have like a few complex carbs like bananas and some like vegetables as well. But yeah, that's all, man. Fuel up because it's a long day and it can get tiring and you don't want to be going like too tired or cramping or anything. So drink loads of water. A lot of guys have salt as well because also salt helps with the water retention. So more sodium in your body, you will hold more water as well. So you'll feel less like cramped up and dehydrated. So sweets are good too. I have like South Patch sweets. They're good as well to help you like, again, simple carbs. Energy will come quickly for your lifts and everything. So prioritize simple carbs because the other carbs will make you feel more bloated and more filled up for longer, and you don't be feeling bloated when you're lifting your weights, of course. If you take pre-workout, you could have like one scoop before you start squatting and then like another half scoop whilst you're like ending off your bench. So that'll hit you for deadlifts because the first scoop should hit you for like squats and deadlifts and bench, sorry. And then the half scoop will give you like a little bit kick for deadlifts at the end of the day because obviously you've done like squats and bench and you feel tired. So that little bit of like punch will help you just end it off. Food sorted. The next main thing is how do you select your attempts? I know a lot of guys probably wondering what weight do you for first, second, and third, and a lot of guys get this wrong due to pressure from others and trying to like force PRs. Don't be too focused on certain numbers, right? Take what's there on the day and take weights based off how your training has been leading up to the comp, right? I know you want to hit certain numbers, but you should be taking what's there on the day. So obviously openers, you give it in early. So I would say openers should be around an RP 7.5 single. So around your 3 and 4 rep max. So very easily sink the hell out of it. The first squat is key. The first squat will like set up your, you know what I mean? So yeah, opening the squat, I would say around RP7, and then you can open on like bench at like an 8 and deads like 7.5, 8 as well. But the first squat is the main one, but you want to make sure you get the lift in and you feel good for the day because you don't want to be getting shaky and nervous after you miss the first squat, because you will do. Miss the first squat, you're going to get shaky and nervous. So make sure it's very light, you sink it out and you move on forward. Second attempts, I would say around an RP of 8.5, which means you're leaving 1 or 2 potentially reps in reserve. So again, that'll be pretty easy. Like you should know based off your opener what an 8.5 is. So before the meet, you should have a plan already sorted out. But on the day, you choose attempts based off how things move. Don't just stick to a certain plan you made beforehand. Let's say your opener normally is a 7.5 or 7, right? And it moves trash. Then adjust your second attempt based off your opener. Don't force certain weights because you want to hit certain PRs, right? The main goal of competing is to hit a good total overall, and missing out on certain lifts will affect your whole entire total. And then thirds, of course, RP10, you just send them. Take what you know you can get, of course, again for thirds. Again, don't try force things you know you can't hit. You might be wanting to hit on the day 100 kg bench, but it might not be there. Don't just force it if you know you can't hit it. Yando, you look kind of wham, bro. Alright, so that's the main things covered. I want to quickly end it off on some common mistakes I've got written down. So the first one I've got is not hydrating enough. A lot of guys don't drink enough water, they cramp out too much, and yeah, everything doesn't go well. This is the reason why you don't cut in your first comp. A lot of guys cut in the first comp and they feel just juiced out. They have no energy, no water in them, nothing. So don't cut in your first comp, like I mentioned in my first video. But yeah, drink loads of water for the entire day. Make sure you're keeping hydrated and full. The salt intake as well to keep the water retention high. And yeah, otherwise you're gonna cramp out and you're gonna feel disgusting. Secondly, opening too heavy. Don't open heavy because that's just silly. Okay, just don't do it. 7.5 is a good point to start off. Yeah, 9 and 2, crazy. Save your energy for later on the RP10s on the third attempt. I've got covered that point. This one here, this is a big one. Not lifting to comp standards during training before the comp. Please learn the rubric, learn the commands and all those things before you compete, right? So when you're squatting, you're waiting for the start command, you're coming down up and you're holding it for that command. On the bench is the main one. Sometimes you can get a long command to start on bench. So in training, what you should do is hold that bar before you come down. Set feet, set head. That's kind of set up your head on the bench and hold the bar for like a second before you come down. You know what I mean? You're pausing it good as well, pressing it, rack command, wait for it, rack, right? Don't miss commands, deadlift, down command, don't get too gassed, hold it at the end, down command, control down nicely, you know what I mean? I mean, you could go hard, you could, you could drop it, you know what I mean? But make sure your hands are holding onto the bar and it's like still controlled partially. Last one is caring too much. Have fun, enjoy, you know what I mean? It isn't that deep, just do your best. If you don't do well for yourself, it doesn't matter. Next time you do better, you learn from mistakes. And the more you compete, the more you learn, the better you do in the future. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it. If you learned something new, subscribe for more content. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.